Well, it's that time of the year, Valentine's Day. So today we are going to make a bouquet of beautiful roses using our adhesive vinyls. So the pattern we're using is actually from Canvas Workspace. It is number 291. It's a Mother's Day paper bouquet, but we are just using the rose out of here. Okay, the pattern is on the back here for your rose, which you can download from Canvas Workspace. So what will we need? We will need a variety of lovely glitter adhesive vinyls. We've also put in a couple of foil type vinyls as well, and some cardstock. So we've selected some cardstocks that will complement or match as closely to these, so they will be the backing for each of the vinyls. Okay, what else? Stem wire. Now we've got two types of stem wire here. These are gauge 22, so we've just got the plain, which you can put your floristry tape around, or you can buy the one with the green already wrapped around it. Okay, so that's gauge 22 stem wire. Okay, you will need a pair of pliers. You will need a brayer. You will need kebab sticks. And you will need, I'm using actually a sewing machine needle, or you can use a thicker darning type needle. What that will do will make the hole in here to put your wire through. Okay, so just something simple like that. You will need a hot glue gun. Now I have a Bosch hot glue gun, which is available from Bunnings. It is much better than the craft ones you buy at the craft store, because it has a lovely little stand on it and it doesn't dribble your hot glue everywhere. Now, we're not using the vinyl blade because we are cutting through the cardstock. This is your standard blade, so that's what we will use in your machine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach our film to our cardstock. Now your cardstock will have a weave on one side and smooth on the other, so we need to attach it to the smooth side. Now before you go madly putting it on, a good idea is to turn it over and put your cardstock down and draw a line so that you actually have it the same size as your cardstock. Otherwise you'll be in all sorts of trouble. So we'll just cut this along the line. Alright, so I have my smooth side up. That's really important. Now if you have trouble separating this, I'm going to use my needle, sewing machine needle or darning needle. Just poke it in behind and that'll help you separate your piece. So a little bit like covering a school book. If you're new at this, get another pair of hands to help you. Once you get it started, it's a breeze. Okay, so we're going to stick this down, just get your top line down. I think I'm in a bit of trouble here. Might need to call for a second pair of hands here to hold it up for me. Thank you. That's right. Hold that piece of paper out. That's it. Second pair of hands is great. Okay, all right, so then as we pull this away,
Oh, yeah, sure.
okay, as we pull that away, we'll smooth that down. So ours is a little, we've got a bit of a wrinkle there. We'll see if we can roll that out. That's it, it'll just roll her out. If you get some bubbles, you will find it will roll her out. Okay, beautiful. Alright, so there we are. That is ready now to just cut like normal cardstock. So you can create some beautiful films or cardstocks with a lot of these lovely adhesive films like we're doing here with our rose. Okay, we now have our lovely glitter cardstock. Now, using the vinyl from Adzon on your cardstock, you do not have any glitter coming off. This is vinyl, it's smooth, so you should never use glitter in your machines that you normally buy from your craft store, that where the glitter will just come off. You'll have glitter all through your machine and you'll never get rid of it. And also it's rough and damages your blade. So we have the lovely vinyl on our cardstock. So we're now ready to cut out our petals for our flower. Whoops. Now we have our standard blade in because we are cutting cardstock. So we will come in here, and I have already downloaded the pattern here, and we will find our, I've made all little folders here which makes it easy. So we've got our Valentine's Day here. Alright, so we will select our paper flower arrangement. And we just want the roses to start with. Okay, so we will just go right through, select cut. Now go into your spanner, and on the second page, half cut must be off, half cut pressure, well that won't interfere with anything on here. We will go back to the first page, cut speed 3, cut pressure must go on to auto, and cut pressure manual blade, we're not using a manual blade, so we'll put that onto 0. So cut speed 3, cut pressure auto, and away we'll go. So it's doing a second pass, which is normal because of the thickness that we're cutting through. So it calculated that with the auto blade, it calculated the thickness that we were cutting, and it decides whether it needs 1 pass, 2 pass or 3 passes. So it is doing a second pass. And there we have our petals. So here we have our petals. So when you're lifting off, right, the metal spatula is really good. It is an extra accessory, but also just bend your card a little bit. Don't try digging into your board. Just lift it like that, and you'll find things will lift off a lot easier. Okay, just unload that, and just that little bend of your mat and they will just lift off. Okay, we are now going to continue on with all our colours. Now our machine is busy cutting away our leaves, so while we're doing that, we're going to start curling our petals on our flowers. Alright, so we need our stick, the kebab stick, and we will just sit it like that, and we will curl our petal. Okay. There are instructions on the PDF that you can download, and there is also a little YouTube video on Canvas Workspace. But we just curl our leaves like so, like this. So we go around and do those. Now with the centerpiece ones, there's 3 of these. So that gets curled back. And then we just put our stick in the middle and make like a V. Okay, so we've got 2 shaped like that. Two of those, and the other one, put our stick in and curl it. I've curled it so that the pretty colour is on the outside. So that is the real throat piece of your rose. So we're going to glue that with the hot glue gun. Just finish curling these. We've got all these lovely different shades of pinks and reds. It's going to look a very pretty bouquet of flowers. Okay. So when we use our hot glue gun, I usually just bend that a little bit to make it easy. That will get glued across into there. Okay. We'll just do this one as one of our lovely metallic ones. So with our leaves, we're cutting one lot in that emerald green, and then we'll do another lot in the lime green. So we'll have 2 shades of green with our leaves. So this is a good job to do while your machine's busy cutting. Okay, so we have all our petals all curled, and when our leaves have finished cutting, we will glue those together too. Okay, we have finished cutting all our leaves now. These are the light green ones. So with the leaves, they get folded in half like that. So what we need to do is with our needle is pierce a hole down the middle of the fold, and we place our stem wire in the middle there. Alright, that gets glued together with the hot glue gun so that they look like this, okay? Now there is a little dotted line down the middle so that you can put a fold into your leaf to give it that realistic look. Okay, so we're doing some on long stems, which will be separate. We are doing some on short stems, and they will get wired into the side down here of the rose with the stem when we do that. Okay, all right, so we have our hot glue gun ready to go here. We're going to start gluing our roses. So we'll just get one of our colours here. Here we go. Okay, so the middle piece here, this gets rolled around like that. So we're going to hot glue gun that. So that's the throat of our rose. Okay, so I'm going to put the hot glue in here. Okay, so that's the throat of our rose. Okay. Alright, so we will start with the base one here. We need to put a hole in the middle. What I like to do is actually hot glue it first, then I can put my hole down the middle so it's in the right spot. Okay, so I've got my glue on there. We'll bring this around and move it over. Doesn't take long to set. Okay. So we do each of these outside petals. Glue sets fairly quickly, so it doesn't take very long to hold. Okay. Okay, so this earlier one we did here, first one. So we'll put a hole down the middle here. Right down the middle. Now with our stem wire, we need to bend a little hook over. So that goes down, and that then will get hot glue gun into place. That will hold that in. So we'll pop our glue into the centre. Cord's on the wrong side of the table. I like to be a bit generous with the amount of glue that I put in there. Don't be skimpy with it. Into the middle. Then we get our next petal, and we will line that up around so that push that in. Just hold that for a little bit till it. So we will now start building our rose. So put the glue in again. And we put the next petal in. I use my stylus here to hold that down. Push that right down in the middle. And just twirl it around a bit so before it completely sets. And push it down so you get that nice full-blown rose look. We want that right down into the centre there. This one goes on. So it's all taking shape now. So these will now go around our throat piece like so. Now I like to put them in and not actually do them on there. I like to do them this way. I like to do them this way. Put them in here first, and then I'll pop my throat down the middle. Okay. I find that is a lot easier than trying to wrap it around. And just rearrange your little petals. You can play with your curls of your petals after it all sets. Okay, there we have our beautiful red rose. Isn't that beautiful? Well, we have been busy here putting all our flowers and our leaves together. So we're now up to assembling a rose. So with our leaf, what we have done here, we've made a hole in the centre. We've pushed that right up to the top so that we've got a little bit of leaf right up underneath the rose, because we thought that looked really good. Okay, so now we need to add some extra leaves in down the stem here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our florist tape around. We're going to get a bit of green around here. Twist that down. Now we're going to add these in down the stem so then they can be splayed out as required. Okay, just come down a little bit. So we're going to start off the top here. I might just put a little dab of glue underneath there. Just a little dab of glue up underneath the top there, because it is very fine and it does help to stabilise it a little bit. Just wait for it to settle. Okay, then we will start wrapping around our stem. Pop our leaf in here. Make sure you get the wrapping right up, covering your wire. And then we'll put another one in down here. Just rip the tape then. It does rip, so you do have to be a little careful with it. So there we go, there's our rose complete. We will now assemble our bouquet. Well, we have assembled our bouquet of beautiful roses, all done with vinyl, adhesive vinyl, so all the different types of vinyl, and we've got our leaves, our roses, And we've just added some brown paper, a little bit of cord to give it that rustic look. What a wonderful way to celebrate Valentine's Day, and some flowers that will last forever.